when I started off my designing school, I used to be inspired by Valentino. He's one of the known fashion house in Italy.
कश्मीर लाइफ आज की मुलाकात सीजन 6 के शुमारे में आप सब नाजरीन का एक बार फिर से इस्तकबाल है। आज के शुमारे में हमारे साथ शामिल हुई है एक एक्सपीरियंस्ड डिजाइनर एंड होटेलियर जुवेरिया सोफी, जो कि अपैरल एंड फैशन इंडस्ट्री के साथ साथ रिटेल, ट्रेंड एनालिसिस, लग्जरी गुड्स एंड आर्ट डायरेक्शन में भी अपना एक्सपीरियंस रखती हैं एंड साथ तो रेल नाम से एक फैशन ब्रांड भी चलाती हैं। तो आज की इस मुलाकात में हम इनसे बात करेंगे और जानेंगे इनके और इनके सफर के बारे में। जुवैरिया, आपका इस शुमारे में खैर मकदम। सबसे पहले तो अपने बारे में बताएं, आप कश्मीर में एक्चुअली कहाँ से हैं एंड बचपना कैसे गुजरा है?
We live in Indranagar. Till the age of 13, I studied in Presentation Convent. And then we shifted to Milan, Italy, you know. So then the schooling and college happened in Milan only.
जुवैरिया, जैसे कि आपने कहा आपने अपनी स्टडीज मिलान से परस्यू की है एंड फैशन डिजाइनिंग में परस्यू की है, सो कैन यू टेल अस अबाउट योर जर्नी इनटू द वर्ल्ड ऑफ फैशन एंड व्हाट इंस्पायर्ड यू टू बी अ फैशन डिजाइनर?
I mean, while growing, even in Kashmir, I was one of those child who always wanted to be in fashion. Even like, when in school, the teacher asks you like, what do you want to do? So I always wanted to be in fashion. So I think because, being a Kashmiri, creativity is embedded in us. We people are creative. So maybe it's the Kashmirian in me that I always wanted to be in fashion, be creative, as how we Kashmiris are. So yeah, I mean, from my childhood, I always wanted to be in fashion, and then being in Milan, there's so much of inspiration and so much of art over there. So that also inspired me a lot. It was both Milan and Kashmir which had an impact in my life to be to pursue fashion.
तो आपका बहुत एक स्ट्रॉन्ग बैकग्राउंड है लग्जरी फैशन एंड ट्रेंड एनालिसिस में, एंड फैशन इंडस्ट्री जो है वो एक बहुत फास्ट इवॉल्विंग इंडस्ट्री है। सो हाउ डू यू स्टे अहेड विद दिस?
Fashion is evolving, but I believe it's the experience which always gives you that intuition like, okay, the next season, this is going to be the trend. So, yeah, fashion is evolving, but, I feel with the experience, you have this intuition of what is next in the market. And of course, there's a lot of research. We have these exhibitions, or there's a couture week, which gives you the forecast of what is coming next. You keep on learning and doing a lot of research about what is the next trending style or silhouette for the next season. And of course, the exhibitions which happen in Milan or in Delhi about the next season trend, that also helps a lot.
You are the founder of Sadhu Rail, and it's your own apparel brand, right? So my question is,
Yes.
and it now has a presence in Milan and New Delhi as well, right? So what
Yeah.
inspired you to, expand it into India? And have these two locations influenced your designs as well?
After getting experience in Milan and working with a lot of couture brands in Milan, I always wanted to bring this Italian tailoring concept to India, like the finesse and the craftsmanship and the high tailoring of Italian style. So the reason behind of bringing Sartoriale to India was to bring the Italian couture look to India. As we know, like, Milan, the Italy, it has this unique craftsmanship. So, and then Indians, like, especially in Delhi, there's this mocktail of artisans from different parts of India. It's creating these unique designs with these skilled artisans in India because, the all the couture hand embroidery that happens in India, the creativity comes from Europe, but then it's developed in India, it's developed in Mumbai, and it's developed in Delhi.
नाजरीन बातचीत बनी रहेंगी यहाँ पे लेंगे एक छोटा सा ब्रेक
मोहब्बत वही जो दिल से हो, इबादत वही जो दिल से हो, दुआ वही जो दिल से निकल आए, बात वही जो दिल से कही जाए, दोस्त वही पक्का जो दिल से साथ निभाए, रिश्ता वही बेजोड़ जो दिल से जोड़ा जाए। दिल से ही तो होते हैं इरादे चट्टान से, दिल से ही तो बनते हैं घर खाली मकान से। दिल से बनी हर चीज पुश्तों तक चलती है, इसलिए खैबर सीमेंट का जर्रा जर्रा दिल से बना है, ताकि आप जो कुछ भी बनाएं दिल से बनाएं। खैबर सीमेंट, दिल से बनाओ।
जुवेरिया फैशन इंडस्ट्री में इन्वॉल्व होने के अलावा आप श्रीनगर में प्लाजो जाफरानो नाम से एक होटल भी चलाती हैं। So my question is, what drew you to the hospitality industry?
Fashion and hospitality, they rely on ambience and curated experience. So it's like guest service, which is essential both for fashion and hospitality. The hotel in Srinagar with the name of Palazzo Zafferano, it's a dream project of my dad. I always wanted to develop this project of my dad. I mean, because he's mostly out of India, and due to his health issues, he couldn't continue further for some time. So being in India and knowing the motivation behind this project was to bring women empowerment in Kashmir. So that was one of the reasons I thought of starting this project in Srinagar to empower women in Kashmir. And
So
yes, we did start with the entire team of women in Kashmir. But then, the circumstances in Kashmir don't allow the women, because hospitality is time taking. So yeah, so the circumstances didn't allow us to have, fully operational women's team. But yes, we're working on it, and Alhamdulillah, we'll work on it.
so do you see any intersection between your work in fashion and hospitality? For example, uh, does your design philosophy influence your hotel's aesthetic? Something like that. So how do you manage both businesses and what keeps you motivated to do this?
The couture background influences the design and the atmosphere of, like, my design does have an influence on the design and the atmosphere of Plaza Zaffarano. And as I said, both the industries, they rely on curated experience, so guest service. So it works parallel. The motivation which keeps me running is my are my parents. So because they left Kashmir, and they had this passion and and desire to build something meaningful back in Milan, in Italy. So my biggest motivation is my dad. He has worked quite hard, and his vision, that's my biggest motivation.
Juveria will move to a rapid fire round now. So the first question
Okay.
is Italian craftsmanship or Indian heritage? Which influences you the more?
Both, because see, Italian craftsmanship is unique in the world with its creativity, with the perfection they work with, and with the ideas they have, the innovative ideas they have, the Italian designers, and the Indian heritage is rich with its artistry tradition and the culture. So both of them inspire me.
One fashion trend you wish would never come back.
That's a tough question, because any trend which comes in the market is a lot of research, and it's a lot of effort done from the ground till the production. But personally, the ultra low rise jeans, I mean, I kind of find them uncomfortable, and impractical. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So a fashion designer you admire the most.
There are quite a few. Like when I started off my designing school, I used to be inspired by Valentino. He's one of the known fashion house in Italy. His romantic silhouettes used to inspire me. Or there's Giorgio Armani. His presence is in India also. His tailored suits inspired me. Or Elisa, he's a Lebanese designer for his dreamy dresses. So there are few designers who inspired me a lot.
The most exciting part of being a fashion designer.
The ability to bring creativity into life, like you have a vision going on, and that's when it comes into life, so that's something beautiful. So whatever you're creating in your head is finally is made, it's constructed, it's right in front of you. That's something quite beautiful.
The last question, the biggest challenge in running a fashion brand.
The biggest challenge is to balance creativity with the business, because you have to manage production, you have to manage supply chain, you have to manage marketing. So and this industry, it's quite demanding. So it's there are a lot of challenges which you face every day, like sometimes with the team, or sometimes with the production, or sometimes something goes wrong with the fabric, or something. Sometimes it's like what is in your mind, you're not able to express, or your team is not able to understand what actually the final look has to be. So yeah, it's there are a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of learning every day.
I guess that is for all. Thank you so much, Juwaria, for being with us today and taking part in this series. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.